worth your while. As Gail said, our purpose today is to talk a little bit about the partnership between authors and booksellers and readers that has historically been the bedrock of our literary landscape. The sands are obviously shifting. We are in the midst of an enormous disintermediation. The new thing is our problems, we're no longer alone. Now we have a lot of company. Everybody else is falling apart. And I don't know if that cheers us up or makes it worse, but are sold in bookstores. And this is different for different titles, but this is a general average. 30% of the books sold are sold in bookstore chains. 15% are sold online. 10% are sold by independents. 45% of the books sold today are sold in box stores, warehouse stores, and specialty stores. So we spent a lot of time talking about us and Amazon and Borders and Barnes & Noble, but 45% of the books are not sold in any one of those distribution channels. So the question I have for whichever one of you would like to go first is, what do you see as the role of each of those distribution channels for you? What you see is what's great about them, what's a challenge about them, what you think each of them bring to the table. Lisa?
I think what sort of happened is everything's become long tail, right? All of a sudden, in the 16 years since I've been running, I've watched everything morph, and I sometimes feel like, authors used to be kind of the passenger on the publisher's train. You kind of went along. And then at some point, it became very clear that we had to get more active, and that's especially so with respect to this kind of stretching out of all the different channels in which we sell. I feel like we have to do more. I think this is great. But my takeaway for you guys isn't that at least I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I think you're working your ass off. And thank you for that, for all of us. But I think, Americans, not all.
Things that we have in common with one another, rather than the crap that we don't. And to stop focusing on these things that are pushing us apart. We're concentrating more on the things that we have in common. Big
So
stuff.
Jim, having said that, let's look at some data that I found interesting to think about how this really impacts it.
Those aren't necessarily the same things anymore. And I deal with this all the time in my day job. You can read in all sorts of different ways now. And whether Newsweek magazine comes to you in the mail, or whether you're reading it online, or whether you're reading it on Kindle, what we have found is that we have to hunt where the ducks are. And the ducks are moving. Not all of them, but certainly the younger ones. And the struggle we're facing, which I think is analogous to what you all are facing, is your base, what you know, people you love, what you love, what I love, is part of one genre, one content, dog or cat. What happened to those two expensive cats?
They're dead.
They're dead. So, to my mind, at least the magazine, and as a author, which is slightly different than y'all's problem, is how do I produce something people want?
If you're an elitist bastard bookstore owner, good for you. Otherwise, if you're not, your store is not focused on your eccentricities, the eccentricities of your booksellers, what's the point? You might as well be working at a chain store. So the entire philosophy of a store is based on the people who work there. That's the point of this. The entire problem of the United States is the whole idea of running away from local, the idea of what's local. And a lot of the good things we're doing in the United States now politically are going back to local food, local businesses. And I think that's what an independent store does. So when you start talking about weighting the books, that makes perfect sense because it represents a whole region. Speaking individually, as an individual, my own eccentricities. Like, you know, I go to Albuquerque and Santa Fe on book tour. I go to Indian country on book tour because, well, I'm Indian. And, you know, and I remember doing publicity for Smoke Signal, the movie, and the publicist there had no idea why I would want to go to Albuquerque. There you go, because there are Indians. About 100,000, and they're all going to see the movie. In fact, I guarantee you it's going to be, you know, 1,000 white women and 10,000 Indians who see Smoke Signal. So I have an issue. And I understand what's going on, because I have friends in all worlds as well, in terms of writers, from the most obscure tech poets, who I do have friends, you know, to the best-selling authors in the world. And we all operate under the basic sense of inferiority. That's who we are as writers, as artists. We're all fucked in the head. We do what we do because of a lot of pain and damage. And that extends into our relationship with our books and how they sell and our own approval and what we want from it. And, you know, I was telling my best-selling friends, Terry Brooks and I were on a panel once, and he was yelling about the disrespect he gets. And I told him, I said, I'll trade you half your sales for half my awards. Write me a check and I'll give you the trophy. It's never happened. Nobody's ever agreed to the deal. We have to be careful as writers when we enter into this relationship with our publishers and with bookstores about letting our own insecurities determine how we approach something.